I have potty trained all 6 of my babies from birth, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly what I did. And no, it wasn't a full-time job. It was simple and it was flexible, and it was honestly one of the best parenting decisions I could have ever made. I'm Andrea Olson, author of Go Diaper Free. So these are the 6 real things I did with my babies. The first thing is I started watching for patterns. And what this means is from day one, I just had them naked from the waist down and just observed. By the time I had my 3rd baby out of 6, I actually didn't do naked observation at all. I just took my babies as soon as they woke up and as soon as they fussed right after feeding. So the first fuss after feeding. And I'll talk about that in a second. But I didn't even log things. I didn't write things down. I'm just not that kind of person. I just kind of observed and learned how my baby worked overall. Because yes, I babysat when I was younger, but I definitely changed diapers, which actually was why I didn't ever want to have kids in the first place, because it was disgusting. But once I found out you could do EC, or elimination communication, which is what I did with all of them, it became a totally different thing. So I would lay my babies over a waterproof pad, and after nursing them, I would just lay them there without a diaper on, waist down, and I would just kind of see and observe and notice if there were any shifts right before they peed or started to poop. And really quickly, I started to notice babies would get uncomfortable or start to shift or just start to fuss. And then almost immediately every time they would pee right after. So newborn babies, the first week, they don't actually go that often. They go as many times as they are days old for a little while. Then they start going like every 10, 15 minutes. So if you've got a baby who's not rolling yet, so 0 to 3 months, it's pretty easy to lay them on a waterproof pad and just kind of see what's going on. Notice if there's any signals. You can write them down if you want. I've got a free observation log I'll link to below. But yeah, that's basically it. I got to know my babies from day 1. And number 2, I offered a natural potty-tunity. So that's an EC term for an opportunity to go potty. And a potty-tunity can be had at a wake up, because we all emit a hormone called the antidiuretic hormone when we are sleeping. It's ADH. Look it up if you want to, or just trust me. But basically all mammals stay clean and dry while they're sleeping. Now you might say, oh, but my baby always wakes up with a wet diaper. In between sleep cycles, if they're not connected yet, which is obviously the case with young babies, they will have gone in between those times. And maybe you just settled them back to sleep and then they just relaxed and peed at that time. But we are wired with hormones that help us to not go. So a wake up potty-tunity is probably the best thing I could have used over all 6 babies. And I use that consistently from the day they were born up until, well, we still do it actually. I even pee when I wake up. The other natural potty-tunity is the one that I already mentioned. It's that first fuss after feeding. So you notice that your baby gets fussy like 10 minutes after feeding and you're like, wait, I just fed you and it's not nap time yet. What could be wrong? It's because they want to go to the bathroom and they want you to take their diaper off so that they can go. So that's what I did with my babies. And then also another potty-tunity is before sleep. Obviously they're going to get a better night's sleep, a better nap if they don't have to go potty. I co-slept for at least the first 4 months, 2 years with my first one, but 4 months for the rest of them. And anytime they would wake up in the middle of the night, I would offer the potty. Then I would nurse them back to sleep, and they settled so well. We got really good sleep. Another natural potty-tunity, and by the way, I didn't even mention this. This is called the 4 easy catches, and you can get that in my Easy Start Guide, which is free. It's a 1-pager, and you can get that down below in the description. But the other easy catch is poops. So whenever I'd see my baby like start to bear down as if they were going to poop, they look like they're smiling, but they're not. They're pooping. You usually have a lot of time. And as they get older, you might have less and less time because they're getting used to, they're trained to go in their diaper. Whatever age you start EC 0 to 18 months, when you see them start to poop, just say wait very gently, take off their diaper and take them. Babies are born with sphincter control, contrary to what the diaper companies have trained the pediatricians to say. And yes, that's a real thing from Pampers Institute. So that's another great potty-tunity, is all poops. Also, if you just want to ease in, a diaper change is what I often relied on as well. I'd open their diaper for a change, or my mom would think, oh, they need a change. That baby is crying because she needs a change. She'd open the diaper and it'd be dry and she's like, what do I do? And I'm like, offer the potty. Because if you offer consistently at diaper changes, most babies will start to consolidate and wait, and then they'll go then. So natural potty-tunities, easy catches, times when most babies are going to want to go. The last one I'll mention that I used all the time was before and after taking them out of the baby carrier. So I baby wore all 6 of my babies. Anytime they get wriggly or wake up in the carrier, I would take them out, and they're usually holding it because they don't want to go on you. It's again, just these innate instincts, right? So we're aligning with those. This is an alignment with baby's natural development. And then when I would offer, what I would do is hold them by the thighs with their back leaning up against my chest over a top hat potty, which is a newborn potty. I sell them because you couldn't find them. Or I'd hold them over the sink or the toilet. I'd squat in front of the big toilet. If you've got a slightly older baby, you can put them on a toilet seat reducer. But since I started at birth, I really loved using the top hat potty, which you could get at my Tiny Undies store. When I would hold them over it, I would use a cue sound like psst, and that would give a sound association. And back up a second to number 1, during observation, anytime they would go pee or poop, I would cue along with them. So we're teaching a common language like we do with everything with our babies, right? Are you hungry? Do you need to go potty? In the beginning, it sounds. So during observation, we would go psst. when they'd pee, and we would go when they would poop. And usually I would pick them up and not just let them poop on the waterproof pad, but sometimes it would happen. If I noticed it was happening, I would cue along with it, and that is actually teaching them something. So back to number 2 here, where we're at right now. When I offered a natural potty-tunity based on the easy catches, based on times that work for most babies as they're going or before they go, I would say, psst. And they go, oh, okay, it's okay to go. I'm on the top hat potty. I hear the noise. I'm going to go. It's similar to potty training a puppy when you see them go in the grass and you say, go potty, go potty. You say the words you want them to go on cue with. But we're dealing with humans here, and we're going to use sounds like psst and that they use currently actually in half of the world where they aren't using diapers still. So that's number 2. That's when I offered with my 6 babies. So number 3, I never used the diaper as a toilet. So I had the pleasure of never having to potty train anyone. Yes, I wrote a book on potty training because people were finding me later than the EC window. And I researched that, and we've tested it with tens of thousands of families, and it works. If you're over 18 months, go get that. Since I started all mine from birth, and I'm recommending if you're 0 to 18 months, start right now, whatever age you're at, EC works. But what I did was, since I only did EC from the beginning, it wasn't an option to just have the diaper be a full-time toilet. The diaper became a backup. And what that means is when I have missed a cue or a signal from them, or when I am just chilling and I really need a break and I don't want to be doing it right now, I let the diaper catch it, but being aware of that, maybe using some sound association, just with pees, not with poops, because I don't like cleaning up poopy diapers. It just wasn't the default, right? So they had an option, and I would usually go for every other pee, which is like full-time awareness, but part-time doing EC. My mindset was, if I could catch every other one and catch that poop every day, that was a win. Your goal might be to catch 1 or 2 per day, or just get the poops. That's a win. But the mindset shift that I made with all of my babies as compared to what I saw my friends doing who did conventional potty training, or what I experienced when I was a babysitter when I was 11, the shift was that I'm not going to use this diaper as a full-time toilet, because no mammal does that, because we are actually born with the desire to, and the urge and the instincts and the hormones to work with our caregiver to stay clean and dry. So hopefully that makes sense, but that's what I did. I just shifted what I saw the diaper as. And it's a tool. It's an amazing tool. It's a wonderful tool. And it's a very helpful tool, but it was not just, this is your toilet and this is the only option you get. These every other one, or this wake up, or whatever I was doing, would just turn into a habit over time. And even if you just start today and you've been using the diaper as a toilet because you didn't know that EC was possible, well, now that you know, you can just shift your mindset to, that's going to be there while we're learning each other. And this will turn into a habit over time. All right. Now, the 4th thing I did to potty train my babies from birth, which technically is not potty training, we're aligning with natural stuff. So it's called elimination communication, which is a mouthful. It's pottying babies, right? We like to call it EC, but EC is not about finishing or training or being independent, right? It's about connection. It's about working together as a team. On this particular note, I wanted to share with you is that I didn't push for independence. I wasn't trying to train them. I was just meeting a need, like feeding or soothing or helping them sleep or making them feel warm and cared for and loved. Babies have a whole variety of needs, and we've just been taught to ignore this one and to make them go from super aware when they're born with sphincter control to just passively going in the diaper because that's their only choice, which when you think about it, it's sad, right? It feels a little bit sad. So I didn't like force or push or pressure at all. It was constantly a learning process for the first 14 months. But I just want you to know, I wasn't trying to potty train them. I was just meeting a need. It was like zooming out and seeing the whole baby. And this built a lot of really strong early awareness between both of us. They were already self-aware, but I was helping them give a language, and we were communicating together about it. And I was becoming more aware of my baby on this extra level. And my kids are obviously all growing. And I feel like we have this super strong baseline of trust because I practice responsive parenting where I would respond in appropriate ways to their actual needs. So if you want to learn exactly how I did this, get my free guide below. You'll also get the observation log that I mentioned a second ago. So there's one link in the description, and that'll walk you through the 4 easy catches so you can try it out to catch a pee today. The 5th thing is I didn't expect perfection. Okay, if you're a first-time mom, if you expect perfection with anything, you are going to fail. Like, you don't know how to do this until you're doing it, right? And it's all trial and error. And some of you might be better and more natural at mothering than the others. And that's okay. We're all different. But for me, in doing EC with all 6 of my babies, even with the 6th one where I expected to be perfect, I know better. What is this season of my life looking like right now? What is my capacity? How many other kids do I have? I also run my own business. I also got a divorce during this time. Like, how do we catch everything if we're having a bad day? So I just accepted it as learning. And some days we caught everything. And again, this is like 0 to walking I'm talking about. Other days, like when they started crawling or started rolling or whatever, we missed a lot and let the diaper catch it. And it was fine because because during that time, I'm giving my kids space to achieve a milestone or have a developmental win, like, hey, now you can crawl. And then usually EC would get back on track after they pushed the tooth out or mastered walking or whatever. I would like to say I stayed relaxed, but that would be a lie. I actually would notice when I was stressing about it and just really back off and not stop doing it, but just keep the basic easy catch rhythms going, those transitions, right? I just want you to know, like, for me, I'm a straight A student, you know, super type A, but EC has humbled me over 6 babies. It's a practice. It's not a pass-fail test. It's like a thing that you do over time, and it's a give and take, right? And number 6, and this might be the most important thing besides starting, I often get asked, how do you finish? So as soon as all 6 of my babies started walking, I passed the baton. That's what I like to call wrapping it up. So I took them out of diapers when they started walking, which was between 9 and 13 months, depending on the child. And this is at home in the daytime. All 6 of my kids were out of diapers around walking. Now with Cooper, I made a mistake and kept sending him in diapers to daycare long after he could have been going in regular cotton pants. So his official completion for daytime was like 17 months, but the rest of them were like 9 to 13 months. As soon as they started walking, I would just start to teach the building blocks of potty independence, which are found in my book. But basically, here's how you push down your pants. Here's how you pull them back up. Here's how we wipe. Here's how we flush. Here's how we turn on the light. The whole routine. I even wrote a board book about it because there wasn't one that didn't stress diapers. So I would read them my book and we would talk about the routine and then we would do the routine. I would help them learn how to get on the mini potty, help them climb onto the big toilet, depending on what they needed. And yes, it was a process. It was very personal to each of the kids. But as soon as they started walking, I started that process of wrapping up. And I also started to give them new words for this, like whatever they could say. I had a really early talker. I've had a really late talker. One of them just said po for poop and pee all the time, using sign language, like pointing to the potty when it's time to go, or going like this, which is a T. Shaking side to side. That means toilet in sign language. I would give them a word and a sign that goes with each part. And I cover that in my podcast about signals, but basically what I learned is we need a language. We need to be able to communicate because once you start walking, we're starting to wrap it up. And I'm going to prompt you. I'm going to tell you it's time, not by asking ever. I never ask, do you need to pee? I'm going to do the activity and assign the language to it that I want you to start using later. So that's exactly what I did. I experienced one poop blowout across 6 babies, period, because there was no bathroom nearby and I forgot my potty. I've had no diaper rash, whereas 95% of babies get diaper rash. We had 0. I did not have to do formal potty training with any of them. I saved about $12,000 in diapers across 6 babies. I saved so much time because I did not have to wipe crevices full of number 2 all the time. I feel deeply connected to my kids. I feel like a good mom, you know, like I was effective at responding appropriately to my kids' needs. I didn't get it right every time, but I did my best. And you know, what else can we ask for? Go here for more videos like this.